Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will show you how I embroider these 3D skulls. So the key to have the 3D effect is actually a technique that I saw on Anne and Luck's YouTube channel. They are based in London and they make royal embroidery things. Their channel is really cool. And the technique that I used is called felt padding. And as you can see, I have many pieces of felt that I put on my circle right now. I forgot the word in English. And what we will do is start with the smallest piece and then add up with the bigger pieces. And sometimes because my shape has the forehead is bigger, the cheeks are bigger, I will add small parts and I will stitch over the felt padding. Start with the smallest piece. Here I'm starting with the forehead because I want a bubble there. And I'm just securing it with thread around. On the YouTube channel that I saw, they said that they actually stitch from north to east to south to west. So I'm just gonna do that because I thought it was cool. But really I don't think it matters that much. However, I think it might help with not having your needle stuck in your thread. I tried to follow this method during my process, but sometimes because of the different shapes, I couldn't. So when there were round shapes, I did try to follow the process, but weirder shapes, I didn't do that. Here I'm adding a bigger piece of felt on top, and I will continue to do so for the rest of the process. Just so you know, the process is sped up twice as fast as I would actually do it in real time. And really, it's only adding felt and securing it in place and then adding pieces to get the shapes that you want. Here I'm adding another smaller circle on the forehead because that's where I want the bump to be the most prominent. And during the process, I will do that times and times again because I really wanted some parts to get bigger bumps like the cheeks and of course the forehead. And it's actually quite easy to pin inside felt. It was not hard, even if I added more. It wasn't hard. I didn't need to put so much strength. And really, the hardest part was to cut the shapes and the beforehand because I wanted to have the skull shape and deciding how to cut it to get the 3D effects. But honestly, since you can go back and add pieces, it's not that bad. Like you can just add parts and smaller parts, and because it's gonna all be covered, no one will see that in the end. It will look really cool and really nice. So don't be too stressed if your shapes are not perfect. You can always just add more. Also, because we're still at the beginning of the video, I just want to tell you that I already said that I sped the process to twice as fast as I'm actually stitching, but sometimes it's a lot of stitching and adding felt and stitching and adding felt. So feel free to speed up the videos, like even for you, twice as fast for when I stitch, because it can be long. As I was reviewing my footage, I was like, I don't want to cut it, but I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to cut some parts that could be important for someone who wants to make a skull or 3D effects. It could be nice to see, but it's long to watch. So just I would recommend to speed it up even more if you don't want to, if you don't want to see the whole process, or simply because it does get repetitive of adding felt, stitching, and even the coverage at the end. It's a lot of making the same steps again and again and again. Um, so yeah, I won't take it personally. I would actually encourage you to do so. I would, but I didn't want to speed it up too much on the main video. I wanted people to be able to see everything clearly. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say before we move forward with the video. So this part here is actually a good example of what I said earlier when I said don't be scared to make mistakes, because I was going to put a bigger part on front and I realized that I completely forgot the nose and it would just get lost in the background, and that's not what I wanted. I wanted a more prominent nose, so that's what I did. I cut a piece of felt and just attached it to the skull. So here the design started to look complete, but it still wasn't as big as I wanted it to be. So I went one last time to add smaller pieces. As you can see, I'm assembling them right now just to make the bones be more obvious and to be sure that they would look cool after. So I went and stitched all that without filming because I felt like I filmed enough stitching. So it looks like this, and I will finally put the last piece of felt. Once it is done, it means that we can start stitching over the felt. I chose to stitch with white thread, but I think a beige thread could also be really cool, or just like a darker gray. Um, but yeah, I chose white. And for the mouth, I do recommend that you stitch horizontally because when you want to put details for the teeth, you're gonna put vertical lines. So for the rest of the white thread that we're gonna use to cover the felt, I actually follow the holes. So you will thread kind of inside the holes of the eyes, of the nose as well. And when you thread inside of it, it will kind of make it a bit bigger. So it will also create depth and it will look nice as well. So yes, just go like up and down like inside the holes. I tried to do satin stitch, but again I went like back and forth just to save a bit of thread. You won't see it at all like in the end result. So yeah, as you can see in the video right now, I'm just going in and out of the eye sockets, and I will just continue like that till almost the end of the threading over the felt. Okay, so here you can see that every thread I made was inside the eyes, but I had a little problem. I thought that my eye sockets were too, like the eyes were too wide open. So I decided to add more felt, and I said in the beginning of the video that if you were not like satisfied, you could always add more felt. And even now that I started like covering, um, I can still do it because I'm just like at the beginning, and I'm so glad that I did it. You will see a big jump in the filming because I felt like I filmed too much threading, so I will do like a big step forward in a few seconds. But yeah, I'm just gonna go and secure the eyes and cover with a lot of thread. So here is the finished, not finished because you can see in the forehead that I still lack some details, but it's what it looks like here. And yeah, I just always made sure that I pinned inside the eye sockets or the nose, and here I'm adding some details for the teeth. So I did everything horizontal at first, and now I'm doing some vertical lines, but not too much. Alright, so as you can see here, it's not done with the white threading. That's actually the longest part. It takes a long time. Um, and I'm just gonna go ahead and add some black details for the eyes. As I said earlier, you don't need to use white and black. That's what I chose. But you can use beige and like dark brown. I think it would look really cool actually, or gray. Um, it would look nice, but I chose black and white. And as you can see in the back, there's a lot of thread there because of the felt padding, the covering of the white thread. So it's gonna get a bit harder to stitch, but surprisingly, it was not that hard at all. Um, I felt like even at the end, it was surprisingly easy, and I think it because the felt is so soft. So, and all the stitching are not necessarily at the same spot, or it's not a lot of stitching. Surprisingly, again, and this is what it looks like with the black eyes and the black nose, the sockets at least. And another thing I wanted to show you is that to give a little bit more of details, you can actually pin inside the nose bridge. So this is what I'm going to show you now. I felt like the eyes were too flat, so I went and pinned inside the felt of the nose bridge just a little bit, and I think the effect was nice. I thought it was a good idea, and it just like seems more natural. So yes, you can do that. Alright, so now it's time for some finishing touches. I'm actually gonna cover the forehead with horizontal lines. I also don't really like the cheeks, so I'm gonna try to hide the little thread that you can see. That there's like one white thread that bothers me. And I'm also gonna soon make the diamond shape. But first, I'll just pin the forehead with horizontal lines to hide the last felt. And this is what it looks like for the forehead. I think I did a better job on this one than on the first one. It's really well covered. This one you can see some spots, so I will actually go ahead later and cover it better because I felt like the second one was too good compared to the first one. And yeah, as I was saying, the cheeks are still bothering me, so I think I'm just gonna put like one black thread around it. to hide it and make it look better. Alright, so I did add the black thread around the cheeks, and I'm really happy because before that I felt like it looked a bit like a stormtrooper in Star Wars instead of a skull. And I am actually gonna hide it with leaves and flowers after like the first one. Also, as you can see, I did the forehead like a diamond shape, and the reason why I did that is because my skulls are not for me. I'm gonna give them, well, I actually sold them to LARPers, and they play their characters in the game. They are Necromancer, and that's what the the Necromancer symbol is in the rules book. So I just followed the design that I saw in the book, and actually I also got a bit of inspiration from Pinterest for the skull. I just want to be honest with that. And a lot of skulls were also surrounded by leaves and flowers, and I felt like just the skull, like the book rules, was a bit too empty. So I took inspiration from that and added the leaves and um, flowers around it. So this is the final look with all the flowers and the greeneries, and I asked the player if they wanted more flowers and greeneries, but they said no, for them it was good like that. And I just put it in the end in an embroidery hoop and added like a chain to make a pendant. And that's pretty much it. I just want to say thank you everyone for watching. I hope you tried 3D embroidery designs. If you do try it, please tag me on Instagram. I don't post a lot, but I look at it. Thank you for watching, and I hope you liked the video. Bye!